Good morning, Mr. Whitehead. How are you, sir?
Well, how you doing?
Doing fine. All right. The purpose of this hearing today is to advise you of your rights regarding extradition. All right. So I'm going to share a little information with you, and I'll tell you about why you're being held in the Van Zandt County Jail. And I'm sure you're probably already familiar, but it's important that I go over these things with you. First and foremost, let me make sure that your identity is correct. Did you pronounce your first name Brian?
Yes, sir.
All right. So are you still Brian O'Neill Whitehead?
Yes, sir.
Is your date of birth 11/2/97?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Mr. Whitehead, you are considered a fugitive from justice from the state of Louisiana in the parish of Bossier. You have been detained on their charges of possession of firearm by convicted felon. That is a felony offense in Louisiana. And also there's a misdemeanor charge of domestic abuse or battery. So the fact that there's two charges pending in Louisiana, they are asking that you be returned to their jurisdiction. And there's two ways that that can occur. And that's what we're going to talk about here today, okay? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Whitehead, the fact of the matter is you're being held on Louisiana warrants in the state of Texas. And in order for the state of Louisiana to come and take custody of you and take you back to their state, they have to formally extradite you. And what that means is they have to send up the correct legal paperwork through their governor's office, and they have to request the governor of the state of Texas to authorize your release from our Texas jail. And that's an involved process where they send up the charges, your identity, all of that has to be certified through the governor's office in Louisiana to the governor's office in Texas. Once the governor's office in Texas receives that information, they will ask us to verify your identity and that you are the correct person. If those things are verified and confirmed, then you would be legally authorized to be returned to the state of Louisiana, and Bossier Parish could come and pick you up and take you back to Louisiana. That process of extradition, you are entitled to the appointment of an attorney to ensure that all of the laws are being followed regarding extradition. If you so choose and request one. That's one way that you can be taken back to Louisiana. The other way, which is a much quicker and faster way, is that you would waive your right to extradition and you would voluntarily return to the state of Louisiana and the Bossier Parish so that they could resolve the charges that they have pending against you. Do you understand these things as I have explained them to you? Okay, you do. And at this time, Mr. Whitehead, you'll need to make a decision on either you want to be formally extradited by Louisiana or you want to waive your rights to extradition and go back voluntarily. Do you know what you want to do at this time?
Go back voluntarily. What you mean by that?
Voluntarily means that you waive your right to extradition. So it means this, Mr. Whitehead, if you understanding what extradition means, that formal legal process of one state requesting a prisoner from another state to be taken across state lines, that's the process of extradition. You have rights under the laws of the state of Texas and Louisiana regarding that extradition. That's that whole process. You can waive all of your rights. You can waive your right to an attorney to contest the extradition or to make sure that the extradition is legally executed, followed out. You can waive all of those things, and that means that you would voluntarily be going back. You would say, Judge, I understand that I can be extradited. I understand that I can make Louisiana submit the information to the governor's office, to the governor of Texas, but you can waive all of that and voluntarily say, State of Louisiana, you can come pick me up. I do not want to invoke any of my rights of extradition. And so typically extradition may take 30 days or more. If you waive extradition, typically we see on average a 7 to 10 day turnaround on them picking you up and taking you back to their state. Could be sooner.
So that means I can't bond out or nothing.
Well, right now you're being held on the fugitive warrant that the court has executed today, recognizing the state of Louisiana charges. You would not be able to bond out, as my understanding, on these charges. You would be able to bond out from the state of Louisiana.
Okay, man, I need to do whatever I need to do to get to Louisiana quick, fast, and here.
Okay. And you're going to have to make that.
I can't wait 7 or 10 days. I have a dead grandfather that just died. I can't wait that long at all, period. 7 or 30 days.
Understand. So my job is to explain to you what the law is, and you get to make the decision. If you seek extradition, then that could be up to 30 days.
All these charges supposed to be on me, period, anyway.
I understand. And Mr. Whitehead, I'm not the judge in Bossier City or Bossier Parish. These charges, I'm not the judge that's going to determine any of the legality of these charges. Those are things that will have to be taken up before the court in Louisiana. The reason that you and I are having a hearing today is because you're in my jail here in the state of Texas, and it's my job to admonish you as to your legal rights regarding extradition. So today,
ASAP.
Say that again.
The Bossier Parish ASAP. So whatever that is, then yes, I need to get the Bossier ASAP.
Okay. So are you wanting to waive your right to extradition and have us contact Louisiana and tell them to pick you up as soon as possible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So Mr. Whitehead, there's going to be some paperwork there in the jail, and it's going to be this document here that says waiver of formal extradition. You'll need to sign that right down here at the bottom. That will then be brought back over to me. You'll sign there, I'll sign here, and then my jail will send that to Bossier Parish, and then Bossier Parish will be notified to pick you up. Mr. Whitehead, if for any reason Bossier Parish does not pick you up within 30 days, then I will bring you back for a bond hearing. But I anticipate it's usually 7 to 10 days, could be sooner because they are closer to us. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Whitehead?
Over.
Okay. All right. Thank you, jail staff. I appreciate you assisting the court today. If you'll have that paperwork filled out by Mr. Whitehead, sent back to the jail, then I will get that signed and returned so that we can communicate with Bossier Parish. Try to get Mr. Whitehead picked up as soon as possible.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. All right. If there's nothing further, we'll be adjourned in this hearing.